Good afternoon, students. In this lecture, we'll find out that whatever association rules we have found out, whether they are of interest to us or not. We first look at how even strong association rules can be uninteresting and misleading. Here we can see one example. Like here we have an example of 1000 transactions, and out of those 1000 transactions, there are 6,000 transactions for customers who buy computer games, 7,500 transactions for customers who buy video games and videos, and 4,000 transaction consist of customers who buy both computer games and videos. So we form a strong association rule that if a customer X buys a computer game, then he also buys the videos. So from the numbers which are being provided in the problem, we find out the values of the support and confidence. So the total number of transactions here is 10,000. So in order to find out the support, the total number of transactions here is 10,000, and out of those 10,000, 4,000 transactions include both games and videos. So this computes the support value to be equal to 40%. So here we have written support is equal to 40%. Then we compute the confidence value. So confidence value comes up when the number of transactions in which computer game was bought in it is 6,000. So 6,000, and the number of transactions in which both computer games and videos were bought, it is 4,000. So this confidence value comes out to be 66%. Now this association rules qualifies the minimum threshold value of the support in confidence. However, this rule is misleading because if we see how many times videos were purchased, this is 7,500 times out of total 10,000 transactions. That means videos were purchased 75% times. So this 75% times is even greater than the 66% which is in which we buy both computer games and videos. So such a rule is misleading because there is no positive correlation. Instead, these two items, computer games and videos, are negatively associated with each other, and in fact the purchase of one item decreases the likelihood of the purchasing the other item. So in order to find out association rules, we need some another term, and that another term is called as correlation. So apart from support and confidence, this correlation is also inserted in the association rule MINE. And how this correlation is measured, we have several metrics for measuring correlation, and one of the metric is called as lift. So if the items at A and B are independent, then we can compute the probability of A union B as equal to probability of A multiplied by probability of B. So if the items are dependent and correlated, then this probability is not equal. So if the items are independent, then these two probability will be equal. That means the value of the left will be equal. So if the items are independent, then the value will be greater than 1. So if we find the value of the left to be less than 1, that means that these items are negatively correlated. So if we compute the values of these two terms, A union B divided by PA and BPB, then in our example, this value comes to be 0.89. So this 0.89 value says that these two items are negatively correlated. Now, as we have learned that in order to measure correlation, the first metric was lift, and the second measure of correlation is the chi-square measure. And we have already learned about this chi-square measure. Now, how this measure works, let us see. For finding out the chi-square analysis, we first of all construct a contingency table. So here we can see the contingency table of the video and game of the total number of transactions. So as we had seen that there were 4,000 transactions when the game was purchased, and 6,000 transactions consisted of both video and computer game. So this is the contingency table which is constructed from the given data. So from this contingency table, first of all, we need to find out the expected values of both game and videos. In order to find out the expected values, we had already learned previously, and this I'll show you once again how to find out the expected value. So in order to find out the expected value, the formula used is that count of A is equal to AI multiplied by count of B is equal to Bj divided by N. So how does this formula works? Let us see with an example. So here you can see a contingency table of fiction and non-fiction table. non-fiction movies and how these movies are seen by male and female. And these values in brackets show the expected value. So in order to compute this expected value, for example, I want to compute the expected value of fiction movies to be which is seen by male. So what I will do is I will just take the items in the vertical and the horizontal items and divide by this total number of items. So if I want to find out this value 90, how I will compute it? I will compute the multiplication of 300, then I'll go to horizontal side, multiply it with 450 and divide it by the total number of transactions, and this is 1500. In order to compute this 360, I'll multiply 1200 and 450 and divide by 1500, so this 360. In order to compute this 210, I will take 300 and 1050 divided by 1500. In order to compute this 840, I'll take 1200 multiplied by 1000 divided by 1500. So this will compute the expected value. So once I compute the expected value, I can put up in the chi-square analysis. So let us once again go there to our example. And here you can see the example for videos and games. So in order to compute the expected values which are written in brackets, what I will do is I'll multiply 6000 by 7,500 and divide by 10,000. So this will give me 4,500. Similarly, I will compute other expected values. For example, this 3,000 value has been computed by multiplying 4,000 by 7,500 and then divided by 10,500. So once these expected values are calculated, we put them into the chi-square formula, and this is observed minus expected. So this 4,000 is the observed value. This 4,500 is the expected value. We square them and then divided by the expected value, and this expected value is 4,500. So similarly, we do for all the items and then we add up, and this value comes out to be 555.6. Because this chi-square value is greater than 1, this means that these two items are negatively correlated. So we also put this another term correlation along with support and confidence in order to find out the value, in order to find out whether the rule is of interest to us or not of interest to us. That's all.